Uh-oh, there goes the Nantucket Nectar family. Sorry, gang.
Clearly Canadians.
It's such a dick move. You probably have a family of a sitter or something.
Sorry.
It's not us.
My best friend and I we just hung out all the time, and we were very much in love with each other, but we didn't have sex, we didn't date, we didn't even talk about having sex or dating, and we would always make fun of couples. We would always make fun of them and be like, couples are so stupid, look at these idiots, oh, they look so happy now, but soon he'll be cheating on her and he'll be, because we were both just the same amount of depressed and, fucked up, and it just occurred to me one day, I was like, oh, we look like a couple, if you didn't know us and you just saw us having brunch or smoking outside the bar, you'd be like, oh, it's a cute couple, or that's a miserable couple, or, whatever. So I thought that would make a good movie.
Well, it's a fairly raunchy movie. Who on the set has the biggest potty mouth?
Me.
Yeah, you heard her answer. She just proved it. Yeah. I would say Leslie. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, me.
Leslie.
Unanimous.
Cock, shit, fuck.
Yeah.
Balls.
Oh, all right. You're being brave.
Well, Alison and Jason, you seem to be working very steadily, but is it a fight to land roles that engage all of your skills?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this role was like a huge opportunity for me, and I was super excited to get to show a range of emotions and qualities in the same project.
Is this room really weird, or is it just me?
You guys are actually super great.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you
so
guys
excited
seem
by
really
how
great.
many people are here.
I'm just sort of I'm a little, yeah, I think that's what it is. I can't believe how many people are here.
This is the ArcLight in Los Angeles, in Hollywood.
And Hollywood,
A discerning group of people, and look how many are here.
and you guys all stayed for the Q&A.
That's amazing. Very flattering.
Yeah, and I used to live.
Well, she's not saying that. She's like, she's always been bad with compliments.
Bye, Jennifer.
CJ.
I used to live on Sierra Bonita and Beverly, and I remember that's right. I remember I walked all the way here once.
Yeah.
Because Mark Ruffalo was accepting an award for the Palm Springs Film Festival or something.
Yeah.
And I came into a theater like this one and there was 8 people in it.
Yeah.
Even Mark fucking Ruffalo, in 2005, and I think Jake Gyllenhaal gave it. And it was 2 just short, beautiful men giving awards to each other, and I
Giving us shorter, beautiful man.
it's so weird to be here with my movie and with you guys, and everyone is here. I can't tell you how many movies I've seen in this theater, just crying my eyes out or laughing my head off or something, and now we're talking about sleeping with other people.
About our silliness.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh.
Allison.
Allison,
Hi,
are you okay?
thanks. Yeah, I'm over here.
Next question.
Way over here.
Next question.
The college looks for Alison and Jason, how close were those to your actual looks in college?
I am wearing my own shoes.
Amen.
Which for people that are that fancy sneakers, it is an Easter egg. Are you aware of this, by the way?
I knew they were genuine, but I didn't know they were yours.
They were mine, but they're every time Nike Dunks have the names that Nike calls them, then sneakerheads come up with street names for them, and the ones I'm wearing they're called the Ron Burgundies because they're modeled after the poster for Anchorman, and because Will and Adam and Henchy and Jess being our producers, that was my Hitchcockian sneakerhead moment. So. We can edit that out, folks. But and then that Jurassic 5 T-shirt that I'm wearing is my own, and it's my own hair.
Yeah.
And I think the jeans were probably mine too. So the whole damn thing.
Wait, that was your Jurassic 5 shirt?
That's my shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, from 2000.
2002?
No, 2002. Yeah.
Yeah. What, quality control?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that just got
No feedback.
real geeky.
None of the clothes were mine. They were from wardrobe.
But tell about the reference that you had. I don't know.
Oh, well, that was sweet because we did
Yeah.
talk about it when we were putting the outfit together. That it was my Empire Records Liv Tyler outfit.
That's
Which-
that's how I dressed for like a good 4 years. Like I just saw that movie and I was like, I'm dressing like that.
That's
like,
my look.
forever.
Yeah, and I feel like I definitely had varying lengths of little plaid skirts when I was in high school and college, though I didn't go to like a school where we had to wear uniforms, but it was just the cute thing to do. And I think I did have pretty nasty hair in college until I started cutting my own hair. Then I just had like short, weird hair of varying lengths. So no, it's not that close to how I looked in college, but I definitely went through a phase like that because I loved that movie.
This is the first Gloria Sanchez production. Were you involved in spearheading that?
No, not at all. I mean, I don't think, but Gloria Sanchez is the offshoot of, or the shingle under Gary Sanchez, which is Adam and Will's company, and it's run by Jessica Elbaum, who was basically the only, if not main, reason that Adam and Will picked up Bachelorette, my first film, and I finished this script, and it is very like. It's up, there's a lot of weird stuff in it. Like, it is funny, but it's also, there's a lot of darkness in it, and it's a very personal script. It's very personal to me, and I always say it's my heart. I was like, and I gave it to Jess, and I was like, am I gonna get punished for like putting this out in the world? I was just like, I can't imagine this is gonna go well. And she read it, and she was like, I love it, it's beautiful. And we're going to make sure that it gets made exactly the way that you want it to get done. So I couldn't be more thrilled that this is the first film underneath like a new avenue for those guys and for Jess personally. So
You all share some of the more challenging scenes to pull off and make it seem natural.
I would say that the dramatic scenes were much more technical than the comedic scenes. The sex scene with Adam Scott, the fight scene, were heavily choreographed and very specific.
we also choreographed the dance with you.
The dance was choreographed, and that is a comedic scene, if I do say so myself. Hilarious. That was choreographed. It's true, and it was pretty specific. Just because we had so much to shoot that day, I got to watch a video of our choreographer, Mandy Moore, showing me the moves, and when I got the email, I was like, oh shit, Mandy Moore? What? Is she just like friends with you, or does she just want to be involved? It was not the same Mandy Moore that I was thinking of. Just a New York choreographer named Mandy Moore.
Just. Have you watched So You Think You Can Dance?
She was an amazing choreographer. We did have so I studied my video and I had an hour's worth of dance rehearsal with the kids the day before we shot that scene. And the kids had much more rehearsal than I did, but then they were very supportive and encouraging of me. Their attitude was definitely like, oh, this novice coming in here 1 hour, what's she gonna do? Between every take, this one little boy in the front who was so cute would just lean over and be like, you're doing great. Great job. That was really fantastic. And then when Leslie came over...
He's like, I gotta take this, I'm sorry.
I also
Leslie
like.
came over. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say about the dancing scene when there was a point where Leslie was like, let's remember that you're on drugs and you're like just coming up with these moves in the moment. So we start to do that take and I'm like, let's do... And the same kid in the front is like, oh no, I know. Acting.
Legally. That's what he is.
That's what, exactly.
His name is nice.
I do feel bad for making you run in front of all those cars at the beginning with the margarita.
Oh no,
That was the first day of shooting and it was raining.
Yeah,
Which is
which we
supposed
did
to be
which
good
we did
luck
not
when
pay
you're
for.
shooting.
We didn't pay for that.
Yeah, we got the
rain.
rain for free.
And then it stopped in time for you to shoot the rest of the scene after you guys were soaking wet.
Yeah, and then we
They just had to keep spraying you with water.
pouring water on you
Yeah.
guys,
It's fun.
throwing you in front of cabs.
Flashdance style. It was great. That was a little technical, like getting my, like pretending to get my elbow hit and all that. I guess there's physical things there. I was really bummed at the beginning of the cab, like I almost get hit by a cab, and for whatever reason, I can't go Dukes of Hazards to my like whatever position. I would have had been running up the street in order to pull it off and try to do it because I was supposed to slide across the thing, and I was like, oh, I can't do that if I go this direction. I have to go that way. But then, you know, they're like, well, we can't do that because
Wait,
the car.
why? Are you like
I don't know.
Zoolander?
It's like
You can
Zoolander.
only turn.
Yeah, it's like
You can't turn
if I was
left
going this
or
way,
like-
I would have been able to do that. But coming this
Oh
way,
yeah.
I don't know what that is. I have no idea. It's like I don't know if it's being left-handed or just like not a fucking stuntman, Allison. But for some reason, I can't do it. Okay, not all of us can watch a video for 10 minutes and learn 16 counts of dance. Just Mandy Moore. Woman dedicated her life
To the American dance.
Well,
And
if
she's
there are,
not. No, I'm kidding.
if there are questions in the audience, we can start taking them if anyone raises their hand. I see one in the back.
So many people.
I know. It's so
Three of you had such great chemistry together. If you ever did another movie together, what would it be about?
Oh, what do you guys want to do next?
I mean,
I don't know, but didn't we say Marissa Tomei will be in it? Because she's amazing.
We have to have Marissa tonight.
So
Yeah.
I'm picturing like a love triangle. Marissa Tomei and I are sisters.
Well,
Remember,
let's
this is
do
what I
broadcast
pitched you.
news with lesbians.
Yes!
Yeah. Marissa Tomei will play
Yes.
Holly Hunter. You'll play.
No, wait!
Wait. You'll play.
Albert Brooks.
You'll be Albert Brooks, and you'll be William Hurt.
No!
no, she would have to be William.
She's William Hurt. You're Holly Hunter.
Exactly.
I'm still Albert Brooks, obviously.
You're really gunning for
Okay,
the Albert Brooks role.
Singing and I'm reading.
Are you sure you
People
want
have
this?
seen that movie.
Are you sure? How do you feel? Can we get some notes?
Yeah.
Like, was that okay? That was all right?
News is a dying medium, though. Say it again.
You need to have such nice chemistry together. That's why I asked the question.
Oh no, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. We should say thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
I have chemistry with them,
Yeah, I think
so
so.
I'm gonna cast myself as Holly Hunter.
Oh,
Now it makes sense.
great. And I'm out of the job.
Here's another question.
Yes, in the front.
How did my story turn out? Michael and I didn't speak for a year. I made this movie.
Has he seen it?
He hasn't seen it yet. He was gonna see it today in New York, but he couldn't see it because of work. So I think he's gonna see it this week.
Because of work.
He
Did he at least go online and buy a couple tickets?
Yeah, he did. He already bought them. He was like, I paid for them, but I'm not gonna get out of work in time. I'll keep you guys updated though.
So you still are
If you guys
you're
all
in
wanna-
communication.
Yeah, if you guys want to give me your email addresses as you come out.
No, just
I'll
shout 'em out.
Or just, yeah. And then I'll start a chain and I'll just write all of you guys and just let you know the update. But yeah, we didn't speak for a year while I made the movie. I'd written the movie. He read the movie. He hasn't seen the movie yet, but he read it. We did not get together. No. That's why they get together in the movie. It's hard to explain that, but I can tell you guys because we're friends. But like, no, we didn't get together. But we're good friends now. We got back together as friends. But yeah, it's weird to talk about it. No, because I'm getting married to someone else. So, no, we did a reading of the screenplay, and I said, what did you think of the ending? And he was like, And I was like, yeah, I know. It's like a little predictable, this thing.
It's like you doing fucking Hamlet. Like you went through the whole rigmarole of getting financing just to make this movie to look at him to see what do you think about those two best friends getting. You want to, and you're like,
What do you think
you're
about-
hiding behind the curtain to see how he's fucking reacting. You got the Jackass camera dialed in on him in blacklight, or like night vision, so you can see his reaction. He says, are his hands sweaty? Does he have a boner? Is he reacting at all? He's texting. Oh no.
He's asleep.
Oh, I make him feel comfortable. He feels safe enough to sleep. Oh well.
That's a word. I'll explain it to you later. I'm sorry.
There's a question there.
Realistic.
I see
I'm
you,
sorry.
Richard.
I'm keeping it rolling.
I love it.
I was gonna say, I love the script, I love the whole movie, thank you guys. I just have to ask though, as wonderful as the script was, it seemed like you had a lot of great improvisational talent in the cast. How much of this was improvised? Were there any particular scenes and anecdotes you could share with us?
Improv. We do improv a lot. I thank you so much. I love improv. I just think that as a director, you have to sort of do it with the actors, if that makes sense, as opposed to going like, say whatever you want. You know, like it's like there are parts that I put in there like avocado and then mousetrap, and I thought, oh, I bet they'll this is a good place for them to improv a bunch of other things and all that stuff. And then Dirty DJ, like all of that is written. But then when we were shooting the scene, I would come in and say like, it just sounds sort of written. I mean, can we like do a little improv here? Is there something here? Or sometimes I don't call cut, so they just keep going. They're doing fingering the bottle and stuff, and I'm just not cutting, and so they're like, well, and then there's a butthole, and then I guess there's this other thing you could do, and so I think I love improv, and I'll let you guys talk about sort of what specifically, but I do think that you have to do it sort of actively as a director and writer, as opposed to and help, and also like when you don't have a script supervisor or playback because it was an independent film, I have to remember everything that they improv so that when we turn around, we can get the other side of it, so it's like Malcolm Gladwell, noodle salad, and of course they're in it, so sometimes you guys would be like, what are you talking, what did we say? And it was like,
I never remember.
yeah, you were like, Malcolm Gladwell, like what did I do?
Just in full blackout while you're improvising the scene, and then.
Literally, I literally do. I would do shows like in Chicago, and I'd be like, wow, how'd it go? It's it feels like a very right-brain thing, but that's the great part about like having such a good script, like where all the emotional work is sort of worked out for you. So as long as you're not improvising new scenes and settings and locations and firearms and as long as you stay within the tone of the film and the tone's so deliberate, especially in an independent film because it's one singular voice being coming out more or less and not a bunch of executives and second guessing and testing of a film. There's just not that luxury. And so then you're just sort of like trying to you're doing more, probably a bit more, as much like quick rehearsals during blocking and then writing quickly there, like sort of coming up with alts or variety there or something that occurs just spontaneously in the moment based on something in the set or the way one of the children looks or acts. Like was Chris Smith in the? Was that in the?
No, you guys improv that.
Yeah.
But I think our props master
That's
put
what
it on the card.
That's a great example. Like that's saying,
perfect example.
Just staying open to everything that's actually going on and not. I mean, some people make Hitchcock, Paul Thomas Anderson. I assume they make the movie they see in their heads. But then they have it all figured out, mapped out. But like the most part, it's such a collaborative thing that's him just making the card say Chris Smith. And I remember, it was like you reading it, Chris Smith, and then it's me. Like I think that might be
the actual take where you went, wait, his name is Chris Smith. And I'm just like, don't cut, keep going.
And then the big thing was like it's beginning to look. We couldn't get the rights to. It's beginning to look. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. so we had to do a bunch of. Or we assumed we could.
We tried so hard. They were very against drug use.
Yeah.
Being associated with drug use. And Snapple was very opposed to being associated with the vagina. In case you were wondering how.
Which is crazy because it's called Snapple.
Do you still have a question, Richard?
There goes the Nantucket Nectar family. Sorry, gang.
The clearly Canadians.
like, it's such a dick move. You probably have a family of a sitter.
Sorry.
Crystal guys in our
It's
household.
not us. It's not us. It's not us. It's not us.
It's not us.
It's not us. It's not your fault.
Somebody over here is shitting their
Red
pants.
shirt guy has a question over there.
Yes, I was just curious about the casting process, because with the chemistry, did you do chemistry reads, or you just hire?
We did.
I was just curious, like, or just hire a bunch
Field them
of
from
talent
about
people.
4 inches further away from your mouth. You know. I got it.
I've got it. Can you hear me in the back?
We did have a chemistry read between the two of them.
Yeah.
But what's funny is that I knew that it was them, though. I knew it was. I knew they were
Did you read
perfect
it?
before
Did
they
you?
even started reading the script, though. Because you guys had never met. They'd never met. And Allie came in, and you were like drinking some water out of like a little paper cup or something.
Yeah, because you shouldn't use bottled water, guys. It's very
And they started talking to each other. Like, you know, she was like, hi. And he was like, hey, you know. And well, you didn't say it like that, but it was like, you know, like the baritone. It was like, hi. And it was like the baritone. And like, the soprano, who could also come down here if she needed to. And they just sounded so perfect. Like if I had a dick, I would have gotten, you know, but I don't. So I just felt sort of a tingly feeling inside that I usually feel right before I make a lot of money. So. Also, just making these guys laugh, like, makes my life. Like, makes my life. I just love them so much. Anyway.
We met so many. I got to meet so many people. Like I've lived in New York for 12 years now, and most of it's been working at Saturday Night Live. And then there's this incredible, obviously, as most people know about New York, a theatrical community, and so many of them, like you know, that are just so brilliant. Like Margarita, the gal that I'm chasing at the very beginning, the woman that is reading the text to me that. You know, like in that one shot, Margaret, the woman I have, you know, the black gal that I have sex with.
Wait, why are you saying
While
that
getting
she's
paid.
black?
But just to be specific, because it's cool that I got to, you know. No. But those were all people that I mean, mostly that you knew already.
Yes.
And like people you had worked with in plays.
Yes, yeah, people, Margarita's a very dear friend of mine who I've known for years. You know, Natasha Lyonne, it basically, everything she says in the movie is like word for word what she said to me in real life. Like, she's just a really good friend of mine, and Adam I worked with on Bachelorette, and Jason Mantzoukas and Andrea Savage, who play the married couple. I mean, they're just friends, like, who I just know from parties. And I was just like, they're so funny, and like, they're just, I mean, I really just had the luxury of making a film with people that I, you know, just, I either already knew and had like a great rapport with, or people like Jason and Alison, who I just really admired and really was hoping that I'd get a chance to work with them. And
Can I say something?
and Jen Houston also, who was our casting director, was really excellent. I mean, she found like Margaret, like
Right.
Maggie Odette, like
Yeah.
and Anna Margaret Holloman, who plays that girl and stuff. Like she sort of would come in and help. I mean, Adam Brody, I just like cold called,
It was so,
literally cold
so
called. Like I was like, hey, you don't know me. You did a movie with someone who mistakenly gave me your number. So I was wondering if you'd be interested in coming in and doing one scene in an independent film and get paid nothing.
I don't like how that there's just that epidemic where you just see the same person in movies over and over playing the same thing, and that the opportunity that Leslie gave both myself and Alison, as she was saying earlier, and I felt the same way, by sort of seeing things in us in a couple scenes in Mad Men, or a number of scenes in Community, or in me dressed up like Joe Biden or dancing in a fucking trash or whatever, to look a little bit further into the human being of the or the artist playing this part, and then to sort of say, oh, they have something else. Like the famous ones are like, Tarantino doing it for Travolta. Like that's such a luxury that you get to do with friends, and you get to live and sort of create so much more actively than just being like, we need a hard ass. Well, let's get the list of all the people who have played hard asses for the past 20 years, and then we all, as people that pay your $13 to go see stuff, are like, okay, here they go again. But boy, when that opportunity happens, and we get to feel it from within, it's a remarkable thing. So like, you know, be as funny or interesting at parties as possible, because you might be standing next to a very benevolent genius. You know? I would encourage it to just, be nice as often to people, because you never know when it's going to come around to, give her that tingly feeling.
You guys had like really racy and honest scenes throughout the whole thing. I thought that was really awesome and amazing.
True.
Is that something that was intimidating for you guys as actors, and was that hard to get the movie financed and made because it's all a movie and?
I'll do my quick yes, very hard. That's why it's not a studio film. I mean, you'd be amazed at just the real fear, and fear is really the word that you get from people when you write a female character like that.
Right.
Like a real, women don't behave that way. And women will not want to see a movie about a woman like that. Like, I mean, it's just like, ooh, I guess I should stop fucking married dudes. I feel like a dick now. I just feel like women have got to have this experience. I mean, I felt so lonely when I was going through these things. And part of the point of writing it was because I was like, I can't be the only person who's felt like this, who's felt this lonely. And part of the reason I think Michael and I became such good friends was because we were both so lonely, and I think the best kind of films, the films that I love, are the ones that really commune with the audience and go like, I'm gonna speak and experience things in this piece, so that you can have some catharsis about certain things in your life. And I think that especially especially comedy is just such a beautiful way of doing that. You get to laugh at your pain, you get to laugh at the absurdity of how you behave.
Especially in this setting, when you're all sitting next to each other, a bunch of strangers versus us all being,
Yes, as opposed to at home. I mean, I fought to have this theatrically released. It was very, it was a risk to have this come out in theaters instead of on VOD, and it's because I felt like you guys should watch it together. I think it would work the best if you did watch it. So I'll let you guys speak on behalf of
Well, I just think, no, it was not difficult to work with that kind of stuff at all, and it's so interesting to hear you talk about the reaction from studios, because I just feel like it shows how distant that system is from reality, and that it couldn't be further from the truth, that you're feeling so lonely, being like, surely some other women feel that way, and I read the script and I go, oh, I feel this way, absolutely, and so many women feel this way, and I never read scripts that feel that honest, where it is a woman speaking the way that I talk to my friends about sex, the way that we talk about relationships and fucking and buttholes, but separate talks about those things.
Are we done with the fucking? All right, what's next on the agenda?
Buttholes!
All right, good. Pee break? Anybody need a pee break?
It's like, even what's also funny is even it was very important to me that Jake and Lainey get together, because I think the point of the movie, if I may be so bold, is that your dysfunction doesn't define you. Like, just because you have made some mistakes or you've gotten into a pattern doesn't mean that you're unlovable. There's somebody out there. There's somebody out there that could be just broken the same way that you are. And all good romantic comedies are about two halves making a whole, the male and the female, coming together to make a couple. That's what a couple is, And it was really funny that most people, especially in the indie world, were unhappy that they ended up together. It was sort of like there was supposed to be some sort of meh feeling at the end, well, we went through that pain and we will continue on together forever. But to me, it was so important to earn that, and hopefully you guys felt that it was earned, because I think that that's what real love is teaching the other person to love themselves. And teaching your partner that they are lovable, and then they will love you in return. I'm gonna stop talking.
They're starting to give me the signal with this third question over here.
We got one more. Make it a good one. Make it
Your last
seriously.
question.
Make it a good one.
Technical question.
Yeah, anamorphic.
And working.
So in terms of lens choices,
spherical versus anamorphic. There was a lot of anamorphic. I'm wondering if you can speak on that. Did you have something to do with that?
Yes.
Camera language. Some it's like the wider shots where you have like you feel it was like on Loki or something that's floating. And
I love that everyone hates this guy. I'm just like, because this guy, this is like, this is me throughout all of my like department head meetings, and everyone, I just love that everybody here is like, I gotta fucking sit her so I can sit through the fucking dolly shot talk. Yeah, we get a lot of, I love moving the camera, and that's something in an independent film that's very difficult to do. You know, like everyone's finding you, I'm like, I'm gonna need a steady cam for 5 days, and everyone's like, go fuck yourself. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna need a steady cam for 5 days though.
All right, then the girl's gotta work in a flower shop then.
All right, fine, fine. But a lot of my ideas come from films, meaning, I'm a kind of Tarantino-ish kind of nerd person. And so, there's a scene that we ripped off from Jaws. If you caught it, congratulations, you're the nerdiest person here. And
The Shining.
The Shining.
We
We
did The Shining right off the
took a
bat.
shot from The Shining. The last shot is the shot from the Third Man. Like it just there's that's sort of how I speak. There were a lot of films that were shot in widescreen, like Manhattan, and then the Steadicam from Silver Linings Playbook, the lens flares from Punch Drunk Love. There are just so many things that I wanted to try to shove into one very romantic movie. Because if there's anything that I love more than sex, it's film, and so I get pretty sexy about that shit too. So thanks for your question. You guys should tweet about the movie and all that kind of great stuff, whatever.
Yes, thank our guests for being here, and I believe you can tell your friends there'll be another Q&A tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. It's the dope.
Thank you for coming.